Hello students. In last class we had learned comments, that is single line, multi-line and documentation comments, and I hope you are clear with what is single line comment, multi-line comment and documentation comment. Next we discussed about how to input data by using assignment method as well as BlueJ method, and in the revised textbook assignment method is not mentioned, even though it is an asset that you have learned one more method, even though it is very simple. So let us go to the today's session 2, again chapter 5, input in data. Your third method, that is using input stream reader class. This system allows an user-friendly environment to input data through keyboard through the output screen itself. So you get to the output through output screen, that is your terminal window. Using the same window, you can give inputs as well as you can get output. So if you are using input stream reader class, that is possible. So this system uses a combination of classes, that is input stream reader class and buffer reader class. First, we will see input stream reader class. So before I tell you technically what is this, have you been to a cinema theater without online booking? So what is the scene there? You go there, stand on the line and get the ticket to watch movie. Just imagine if the line system is not followed there, what happens? There will be a heavy traffic of people and the whole system collapses. Nobody receives the ticket and the purpose of watching movie will not happen there, isn't it? Same way, data should be streamlined into bits. When the system receives from the keyboard, it has to be streamlined into bits so that it will not get disturbed or hampered and cause any input error. So this streamlining of bits is done by using input stream reader class. Next is buffer reader class. A computer system has a high speed buffer device, which is a temporary storage device in between input unit and processor. In order to synchronize the speed of I/O devices and processor, buffer allows storing of input streamlined bit pattern so that the instant supply of data can be done to the CPU without any delay. Thus, the buffer reader class is used. So, in this example, you have noticed that 1, 2, 3, ABC, 1, 2, that is the input given through keyboard. So, this is a keyboard and stream of line. This is a stream of data. This is being done by the input stream reader class. So 1, 2, 3 ABC. So it is received here 1, 2, 3, then a space, then ABC, then a space, again 1, 2, slash n means next line, again Java, space is, then a space FUN, exclamatory mark slash n. So this is the input which is gone as a stream of data by input stream reader class from the keyboard, and it has been stored in the temporary memory which is called as buffer or cache of input. From here it goes for the processing unit for the processing. So after the processing you get the output. So output also will be streamed into line of data and then it receives in the buffer, and from the buffer it goes to the output screen. So that's how the computer system works. And you can see this buffering is happening everywhere. When you watch a YouTube video, when you are downloading something, this buffering happens. Syntax of input stream reader class. So this is a general syntax of input stream reader class. Import java.io.star. IO is a package of Java class. So this input stream reader as well as buffer reader are the inbuilt classes developed by Java programmers, and these classes are inside IO package. And you have many packages like AWT, applet, etc. And the IO is known as input output, and inside this package, input output package, you have input stream reader, buffer reader classes, and there are a lot of other classes too. So it is always important that you have to import java.io.star whenever you are using input stream reader as well as buffer reader. Next is class name. You know class keyword, then you should mention the class name, then the open braces. Then next is public static void main throws IO exception. So far you were using public static void main in all the program, and public denotes it is the access specifier of the program. That means public means it has a there are three access specifiers, that is public, private and protected, which you will learn later. So public means the access is public. That means every other program can access this program. In detail you will learn later. And static is a keyword, so that in order to access this program we need not to create any object. Next is void. Void is the return type of the program. That is, if the program is not returning anything, then you must use void. And so far in this whole year, you are not returning any value and you must use void only. Next is main. Main is again a keyword and this denotes that it is the main function. Next is throws. Throws is a keyword and IO exception. IO exception is again a class. It is used to find out the errors that occurs while input as well as output. Since the user is entering an input, this IO exception is must. So public static void main throws IO exception. IOE are capital here, and then exception. Then again starting of the function, then input stream reader. This is the class, and you have noticed that there is no space in between any of these words. Input no space, stream no space, reader, and ISR are capital letters. Then a space IR. IR is an object of input stream reader and you can name anyway. You can even name it as ISR or read anyway. So here I am giving IR. So IR is an object of input stream reader. Then equal to new keyword, again input stream reader, inside the bracket system dot in. System S should be capital, semicolon. Then buffered reader BR is equal to new buffered reader of IR. Here B and R should be capital and BR is an object of the class buffered reader and you can even name it as in or of your choice. And since it is buffered reader, I had named it as BR is equal to new. New is a keyword. Again buffered reader of IR inside the bracket IR. And remember what name you are giving here for the input stream reader. What is the name of the object of input stream reader? The same object should be repeated here also in buffered reader. So here if you are using read, then here also it should be read. If it is IN here or what name you are giving, the same name should be repeated here in the buffered reader function. Next is you have to write the program code. After the program code is done, close the function bracket, main function bracket, then close the class bracket. Now we will see how to accept values using input stream reader for different data types. If it is integer, then int n is equal to integer dot parseInt inside the bracket br dot readline function. This is the way you are going to accept values using input stream reader. So you have to give those two statements in the beginning, that is input stream reader IR is equal to new input stream reader of system.in, buffered reader BR is equal to new buffered reader of IR, After that, if you are accepting integer value, again you have to give int n is equal to integer dot parseInt of br dot readline function. And here you have noticed that I as well as here I. Integer for integer, I is capital and p is small letter, and parseInt I is capital and br dot readline, so L should be capital. And since for buffered reader I used BR, here also you have to use BR. If you are using anything else, any other object, then that object dot readline function. Next, float f is equal to float dot parse float of br dot readline function. This is to accept a float value. So here also same, f should be capital, again parse f should be capital, then br dot readline function. Next, double D, double here, this double is a data type, so it should be small, and D is a variable name is equal to double dot parse double. Here again D as well as here D also should be capital, then inside br dot readline function. And if it is byte, again capital B, byte dot parse byte of br dot readline function. And if it is character, character ch should be is equal to inside the bracket char br dot read function. Readline function will not come for character, please notice that. And inside the bracket char, then again inside another bracket br dot read function. This is the syntax for receiving characters. Next is string. String s is equal to br dot readline function, and here we are not parsing anything. Parsing means converting. So br dot readline. So here I'll tell you a general thing. That is, here you have noticed that everywhere we are using br dot readline, br dot readline. So this br dot readline input stream reader classes are accepting all the values as string. Here you have noticed that for string it is simply br.readline. So same way br.readline is used to receive string, and by default br.readline function receives values in the form of string, and if we wanted to convert it into integer, it has to be parsed, that is converted, and using the integer class. So that is what happening in the sentence. So here we are converting it into float. So here we are receiving it as string, and that string will be converted into float. Here again br.readline function. So this here again we are converting, we are receiving it as string and again converting into double. So this is common for everything except character. Character we are not reading as readline function, we are reading by only read function. Now we will see an example based on input stream reader class. So this is a program to find the area and perimeter of rectangle using input stream reader class. So import java.io.star. I told you initially the step is you have to import java.io.star. Then class name. So class name is rectangle. Public static void main throws IO exception. All these things are discussed. And input stream reader IR is equal to new input stream reader of system.in. Buffered reader BR is equal to new buffered reader of IR. Int L comma B comma area comma peri. So L and B variables are to store the length and breadth, and area is to store the area of the rectangle, and peri is to store the perimeter of the rectangle. System.out.println enter the length of the rectangle, and you are asking the value from the user, and the user should know what value has to be entered. So before you receive it, you have to tell the user to enter the length of the rectangle, and that should be put it inside system.out.println so that it will be displayed on the output screen. So then L is equal to integer dot parseInt. Since it is an integer, you have to use integer dot parseInt of br dot readline function. After receiving length in L, next is to receive breadth. So again ask system.out.println, enter the breadth of the rectangle. Then it should be stored in B. So B is equal to integer.parseInt of br.readline function. Then find out area of the rectangle, that is L into B. Now user has entered some value in L and B, that will be multiplied and that answer will be stored in area. And perimeter of the rectangle is 2 into L plus B. So 2 into L plus B will be calculated here and that answer will be stored in peri. Next you have to print out the area of the rectangle as well as perimeter of the rectangle. So again system.out.println statement, system.out.println area of the rectangle is equal to plus area, system.out.println perimeter of the rectangle is equal to plus peri. Now we'll see the output. Before that, compile. It is compiling. Class compiled, no syntax errors. So minimize the screen. Then rectangle is our program. Right click, void main. Enter the length of the rectangle. So now you have seen that it is asking the value of the length of the rectangle in the output screen. So I'm giving length of the rectangle as 10. Then it is asking for breadth of the rectangle. Again I'm giving it 5. Now press the enter key. Now area of the rectangle is equal to 50 and perimeter of the rectangle is equal to 30. Your second example based on InputStreamReader class. This is a program to find the area of a circle using InputStreamReader class. Again first statement, import java.io.star class circle public static void main throws IO exception. InputStreamReader IR is equal to new InputStreamReader of system.in. Buffered reader BR is equal to new buffered reader of IR. Float R, double area. R is to receive the radius. Area is to find the area and store it. System.out.println, enter the radius of the circle. We should know the radius of the circle, so that we are asking the user to enter here. And that answer radius should be stored in R. And since it is a float value, it is float dot parse float of br.readline function. And after receiving the R, find out the area. Area's formula is pi r square. Pi value is 3.14. So you cannot give pi here. Pi should be substituted with the value 3.14 into r square. System.out.println area of the circle is equal to plus area. Now we'll see compile. It is compiled, no syntax errors. Minimize the screen. We'll run and see. Void main and your terminal window is here. Enter the radius of the circle. It is a float value, so you can give value in points. So I'm giving 5.5. Press enter key and your area of the circle is 94.985.